Hey everybody! In today's tutorial, I want to show you what I did for this week's Inspiration Challenge at Splitcoast. We have the Inspiration Challenge every Saturday, and Audrey Magno is our normal host. She is taking her birthday week off, and so she let me in through the back door to do this challenge. Now, normally with the Inspiration Challenge, we find a website that inspires us, and we ask people to draw inspiration from that. And I found one called the Wildlands on Etsy, which is a beautiful shop full of watercolor prints like these. What I loved about the prints is the silhouette images and the way that the watercolor escaped from the silhouette in those spatters that you see on a lot of these images. And I thought that the colors and the shapes were really beautiful. So that's what I'm asking people to do this week. For my sample, I chose to use the Leaflets dies from Stampin' Up! For my shapes. And what I did was I created two different samples to work on. On the left, you'll see I have a leaf cut out of frog tape, my new favorite. And then on the right, I took the negative space from that cut, put that down on a piece of watercolor paper, and then covered the rest with tape. Now to start with, I'm experimenting. These are my new silver brushes, and so I'm getting used to how much water they hold. They're really amazing. They hold a ton of water. And I'm just testing to see how much water I need to really get a good spatter off the size brush that I'm going to be using. And then I'm just going to go for that random look of mixed confetti colors that they have in the Wildlands prints. And I'm just going to apply color. I will remove some color just with a dry cloth. If it gets pooled a little bit, you'll see me do that. And go back on top with more color. The koi is great about preserving that color even when you blot it a little bit. And I'm also going to come in periodically with the heat gun and dry this surface just a little bit. Again, so that I can add more color. I love the way the underneath layers blend, especially when I do blot them and I lighten the color a little bit. And then I can go back and see where I need a little bit of balance. A little more color or less of one color in a particular area. You just have to experiment and find out which of these color combos works. You know, when you look at one of those prints, you think, oh, well, that's easy. It's blue and green and orange. And then when you go to do it, it's not quite as easy as it looks. So watercolor definitely takes a little bit of practice. Now in the negative space one, what I want to encourage you to do is, this was kind of a delicate die cut. And so I really had to be careful when I was putting it down on the paper not to get wrinkles at the edges where the detailed part of the leaf is. Because wrinkles are what will compromise your mask. And they'll just act like a little tunnel to let water underneath the mask. So what I did was I tried to be careful putting it down. But I also went over it with my bone folder wherever I saw a little ridge and made sure that it was totally flat and bonded to the paper. And you'll see what a great job it does when I pull off the tape. Now in this one, I'm going to splatter just similar colors to the colors that are around the leaf. I'll go around the edges and splatter those same colors and overlap them a little bit where they look good. The blue and purple look really beautiful together. That's just kind of a dreamy combo. So I'll add a little bit more of that. And the key to a successful masked project like this is really to make sure that your watercolor is 100% dry before you remove your mask. That way, if there was water pooled at the edge, it won't immediately come out when you remove the mask into the white space. But look how crisp that image is with that mask. This tape is just amazing. So I'm going to set the other one off to the side and then do a little bit of spattering on the leaf. And this is the one that really, I feel like, was the most inspired by the prints in that store. This is exactly what those silhouettes look like. On this one, I love that warm yellow-orange kind of in the center of the leaf. So I think that's going to be the only color that I spatter with. I need to add a little bit of water to this one. Trying to find a clean spot. The one up top got a little muddy. I got a little green in it. But this does just great little spatters. And just adds that fun kind of grunge element to what's otherwise a super clean and neat silhouette. So I hope you'll join us over at the Inspiration Challenge this week. Should be a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see what you create. Thanks so much for watching.